Hey out there, thanks for tuning in. And yes, Robert, the comment below, I have been going to the gym and getting on the treadmill. Lost 3 pounds. Alright, Robert never asked. While I'm at the treadmill, or while I'm at the gym on the treadmill, I've been listening to some real estate books. Imagine that, real estate in the gym. One of them is The ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Ken McElroy, and the other one is The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. Both of them are great books. I think the ABCs is about 5 hours, and the Millionaire Real Estate Investor is 9 hours on audiobook. I put them on 1.5 times the speed, so speed it up a little bit. Gets me motivated. And then here, listen to this other book. Be a real estate investor using only grit to start. What's grit, Harry? These special effects going from one board to 2 boards makes me feel like kind of like I'm in Hollywood. Grit, passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. If you watch any of my other videos, I try not to critique anyone. I'm not a critic. What's that saying I said? There's no statues built for critics. I'm not here to criticize these books. These guys are like authorities on what they write about. Ken McElroy, he's doing like multi-unit places. We're talking like 100, 200, 400 units at a time. He's giving you all the insight information as far as what to look for, from unemployment to job growth to, meeting with city planners and things like that. Where's the future of the city going to be going? He was talking about Portland and cities in Arizona. Interesting stuff, big stuff, lots of info. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller, he sticks a little bit more towards the single family houses and renting them out and things like that. But again, filled with a lot of info, lots of numbers. Maybe on one hand it made me feel almost like stupid, like, holy cow, I don't know any of this stuff. I never really looked into job growth in the New Jersey area. And then on the other hand, I was thinking to myself, when you don't have anything, but you have grit, it could be just as effective, or even more so, because I've had passion and perseverance, but no money, and really no education as far as what these guys are talking about, the numbers and the research that they do. I'm saying this to you guys because I think, and I've said this before in some of my other videos, if you go and you maybe pick up ABCs of real estate investing, and you see this guy that's going into buying a 200-unit apartment building, and he's meeting with city planners, and he's taking a flight out to Portland because he lives in, I don't know, Florida. You might be like, this isn't for me. I'm not going from 0 houses to 200 units. And again, I'm not critiquing this guy. I mean, am I envious? I don't think I'm envious as much as we're just 2 different people, and he's an expert in his field. What I am saying is, if you're watching this video and you've never purchased a property, an investment property, going from 0 to 200 is such a huge jump. It might scare you. I've made a video about analysis paralysis, and I'm in the business, and I'm doing this. And when I started listening to that book, I almost got paralyzed with fear. I never counted the blades of grass on the front lawn. Was I supposed to do that? That was an exaggeration. So, if you're looking for a book that's super detailed, with numbers, and more numbers, talks about a team formation, talks about, getting an attorney, an accountant, an appraiser, an architect, inspector. I mean, it goes down a whole list in the one book about formulating this team before you even go and get a piece of property. And again, not knocking these guys at all. I think that's probably the way to do it. Planning, and then a little bit more planning. And then just before you get done planning, plan a little bit more. And again, that's probably the way that you should do it. The thing is, it's not the only way you could do it, but that probably is the way that you should do it. And then you get into some more numbers, and then some more numbers, and then some more numbers. You get into more numbers. None of this stuff is that exciting to me. However, it's probably the way to go about it. So much info in these books. So if you're looking for some reads, these could be two of them. These could be two books for you. Matter of fact, I'm recommending them. A little caveat in there, if that's the word, caveat. When you read them, take what you like, leave the rest to the side, because I'm going to go someplace with this. It's kind of like a self-help book. You pick up a self-help book, it tells you about how you're going to get to inner peace and serenity as long as you do these 27 steps. It's hard for me to get into those 27 steps. I want it all right now. I'm under no delusion or illusion. I always get confused with those two, delusion, illusion. That I'm a big fish in a big pond. That's not the case. I know that I'm a little fish in a little pond. However, I'm happy. I'm happier than ever. I'm making these videos, and I think real estate investing is the true, best, only way to wealth that I know about. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. Necessity. Just do it. I didn't have all the knowledge. I didn't have any money. And again, small fish. However, I've scraped together a little bit. I want to break it down into one bite-sized piece. The real estate books could create a fear and the analysis paralysis, while at the same time it's giving you so much info that's probably necessary. My way of thinking probably isn't the norm. It's probably not even the best. But if you have some of the things that are obstacles in your life that are similar to mine, no money, and really not having that much knowledge as far as real estate investing, then you're going to want this to be broken down and be simple. That's why I'm here. So I'm standing in front of the secret because you got to come back for more. Came up with another definition of grit. I will do whatever I need to do. Period. That's pretty simple. I'll get my hands dirty if I have to get my hands dirty. I will take that toilet out by myself, and when I can't figure it out, I'm going to get onto YouTube and figure out how to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to learn on the go. YouTube is a great place to find out how to do flooring, let's say. I already had a lot of those skills, so I'm kind of being a little, I don't know, sarcastic right now. So I already had a lot of those handyman kind of skills, and I still do. Continue on, no matter what. However, check this out. Here's the secret. So without further ado, here's the secret. It's kind of simple. The spread needs to be so big you can't get hurt. Yes, if someone wants to critique this, they can, and I can say, well, that means you're only going to get like a property every freaking 5 years if you use that criteria. That might be the case. However, if you have no money and you can't afford to get hurt on real estate because it would be really devastating, might be a little too dramatic, but it could really hurt you. If you have no money, you're putting it on credit, you better make sure that spread is big. Or you can read those books I talked about. And you can analyze properties again and again, and you can plan, and you can get that team formed and all that kind of stuff. First of all, I don't know if face-to-face I'm really that good with 27 people on the team. I'm not sure. So let me give you some real examples of the spread. The spread needs to be that big. Sullivan, that's our second house. First house we got in South Amboy, we bought and we sold. It was modest. It was a modest rehab. Got my hands a little dirty on that in order to make some money. Then we moved on. Sullivan, purchased for $84,000, appraised for $350,000, a $216,000 spread. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't even need to see too much of the house. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still analyzed it, ran the comps and everything else, but with that kind of a spread, $216,000, knowing what I know about fixing up houses and financing and things like that, even if it went up to $100,000, which it didn't, I got enough meat on the bone. It's pretty hard to get hurt. Clark bought it for $109, appraised at $300,000. Same thing. Look at that spread, almost $200,000. Florence Ave, almost $200,000. Leocadia 65 to 206. That was a nice deal. These are all our rental units. Now the country house I've made videos about, and when I made the first one, I said, it doesn't really jive into my numbers. This is why. Because I bought it for $200 and it appraised for $330. $130,000 spread. It didn't fit into that criteria because I need a big spread so I don't get hurt. However, that wound up working out. My point is, if you want to go out and read books on real estate, I think it's a great idea. While you're reading those books, don't get paralyzed with the fear, because you could do it with grit. Don't forget what grit is. Passion, perseverance. If you want this or you want something else in life and you have grit, I gotta tell you, I think it's more powerful than the education. Let me know what you think with a comment down below.